Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. G20 presidency handed over to India. Next year's summit to be held in New Delhi on 9th and 10th September. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India's presidency will be inclusive, ambitious, decisive and action-oriented. India and France review cooperation in defence, civil nuclear, trade and investment. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankad emphasizes the importance of transparent accountability in public service delivery. Britain approves 3,000 work visas for young Indian professionals, and former US President Donald Trump launches his 2024 presidential campaign. And now the news in detail. India was handed over the presidency of the G20 at the closing session of the G20 summit in Bali today. India will officially assume the G20 presidency from the 1st of next month. At the closing session, Indonesian President Joko Widodo symbolically handed over the G20 presidency to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Speaking at the closing session of G20 summit in Bali, Mr. Modi said, "It is a matter of pride for every Indian as the country takes over the presidency of the G20. He said India is taking charge of the G20 at a time when the world is grappling with geopolitical tensions, economic slowdown, rising food and energy prices, and the long-term ill effects of the pandemic. He assured the world leaders that India's presidency of G20 will be inclusive, ambitious, decisive, and action-oriented.
भारत की G20 अध्यक्षता इंक्लूसिव, एम्बिशियस, डिसिसिव और एक्शन ओरिएंटेड होगी। अगले एक साल में हमारा प्रयत्न रहेगा कि G20 नए विचारों की परिकल्पना के लिए और सामूहिक एक्शन को गति देने के लिए एक ग्लोबल प्राइम मूवर की तरह काम करे।
Mr. Modi said, the G20 has to convey a strong message in favor of peace and harmony, and all these priorities are fully embodied in the theme of India's G20 chairmanship, One Earth, One Family, One Future. The Prime Minister said efforts will be made to make the G20 a catalyst for global change. He said India will organize G20 meetings in different states and cities, and our guests will get a full experience of India's amazing diversity, inclusive traditions and cultural richness. The next G20 summit will be held on the 9th and 10th of September 2023 in New Delhi. India and France today reviewed cooperation in defence, civil nuclear, trade, investment and new areas of economic engagement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron met in Bali on the sidelines of the G20 summit. Both leaders discussed regional and global developments. Mr. Modi also had bilateral talks with Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. They discussed boosting avenues of India-Singapore cooperation in sectors including the green economy, renewable energy, financial technology and deepening trade relations. Mr. Modi described Singapore as an important pillar of India's Act East policy. The Prime Minister also met German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and discussed ways to boost economic ties, defence collaboration and other important issues. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said this was their third meeting this year and they built on the strong ground covered during the intergovernmental consultations held earlier. He is also scheduled to have bilateral meetings with the leaders of Indonesia, Spain, Italy, Australia and the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized on the rapid growth of public digital infrastructure to eliminate digital divide. He was speaking at the third working session on the theme Digital Transformation on the second and concluding day of G20 summit in Bali today. The Prime Minister said India will work jointly with G20 partners to spread the benefit of digital technology in the life of every human being. He said data for development will be a key element during India's presidency of G20 next year. He said it is the responsibility of G20 leaders that the benefits of digital transformation should not be confined to a small part of the human race. Mr. Modi asked the world leaders to take a pledge to bring digital transformation in the life of every human being in the next 10 years so that no person in the world will be deprived of the benefits of digital technology. The G20 nations have expressed deep concern over the challenges posed to global food security, exacerbated by current conflicts and tensions, and expressed commitment to take urgent actions to save lives, prevent hunger and malnutrition. In a declaration issued after the G20 summit in Bali, the member nations called for an accelerated transformation towards sustainable and resilient agriculture and food systems and supply chains. The declaration expressed commitment to protect the most vulnerable from hunger by using all available tools to address the global food crisis. Referring to Russia-Ukraine conflict, the declaration said it has adversely impacted the global economy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is emerging as the innovation hub of the world with over 81,000 recognized startups and over 1,000 research and development centers of global majors. Inaugurating the 3-day Bengaluru Tech Summit through a video message today, Mr. Modi said, "In India, technology is a force of equality and empowerment, and the youth are being connected with the information superhighway." He said India has democratized technology and given it a human touch. Mr. Modi said India is using technology in the war against poverty.
Technology was seen as an exclusive domain. It was said to be only for the high and mighty. But India has shown how to democratize technology. India has also shown how to give tech a human touch. In India, technology is a force of equality and empowerment. India is using technology as a weapon in the war against poverty.
The Prime Minister said through technology, the government is also transforming infrastructure development in the country. He said PM Gati Shakti, through an online GIS-enabled portal, is helping multiple sectors work together to ensure multimodal connectivity in the country. Mr. Modi said technology came into play to achieve the biggest COVID vaccination drive through the use of CoWIN portal. It also helped students to pursue online classes during the pandemic. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Northeast Diary program, broadcast every Thursday and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. brings very interesting and enchanting stories from the 8 Indian states of Northeast India. Northeast Diary this week, that is 17th of November, brings an exclusive interview with Opang Jameer, a fashion model, assistant editor of Northeast Window magazine and curator for handloom and sustainable fashion. Looking forward to see you there. Welcome back to the Midday News. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar today emphasized that transparent accountability in public service delivery is quintessential to good governance. He was speaking after inaugurating the second audit divas at the office of the Comptroller and Auditor General CAG in New Delhi. The Vice President said the CAG should find innovative work to involve the public in its audit processes. This will yield rich dividends and help in efficient monitoring of the schemes. He said the reputation of the CAG at the global level is well recognized as a robust auditing organization. The Vice President said it is on account of this recognition that the CAG is playing a critical role as an external auditor at various UN organizations.
The credibility earned by the institution is due to the painstaking efforts of successive CAGs that brought this institution what it is today. Impactful and wholesome CAG functioning has generated evolution of transparent and accountable ecosystem.
The United Kingdom government has approved 3,000 visas for young professionals from India to work in the country each year. highlighting the strength of the UK-India migration and mobility partnership agreed upon last year. The UK government said India is the first visa national country to benefit from such a scheme. The UK Prime Minister's office said the government has approved the UK-India Young Professional Scheme that offers 3,000 visas to 18 to 30-year-old degree-educated Indian nationals to come to the UK to live and work for up to 2 years. Former US President Donald Trump has launched his 2024 presidential campaign. He filed papers with the Federal Election Commission in which he declared himself a candidate for the presidency and established a new campaign committee. The announcement comes just a week after Republicans lost key midterm elections, prompting some members in the party to blame Mr. Trump. In Poland, 2 people were killed in a missile explosion at a village near the Ukraine border. Poland's President Andrzej Duda said that there was no conclusive evidence as to who fired the missile. He added that investigations are underway. Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry has denied the reports that Russian missiles hit the Polish territory. It termed such reports as a deliberate provocation aimed at escalating the situation. Back home in Gujarat, the Election Commission has rejected 363 nominations and declared 999 as valid during scrutiny of forms for the first phase of assembly polls. The candidates can withdraw their nominations by tomorrow. Meanwhile, filing of nominations for the second phase will end tomorrow. So far, 341 candidates have submitted their nominations for the second phase. Our Ahmedabad correspondent has filed this report.
Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel filed his candidature from Ghatlodia constituency of Ahmedabad today. BJP State President C.R. Patil will hold public rallies in Ahmedabad and Anand districts today. After BJP and AAP, Congress party has released a list of star campaigners for the polls. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, Party President Mallikarjun Kharge and Chief Ministers of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh Ashok Gehlot and Bhupesh Baghel are among the 40 star campaigners of the party. From Aam Aadmi Party, National Convener Arvind Kejriwal and young leader Raghav Chadda are campaigning in the state today. With Sanjeev Sharma, Aparna Khun, AR News, Ahmedabad.
A month-long Kashi Tamil Sangamam will begin in Varanasi tomorrow. The Sangamam is being organized by the central government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and to uphold the spirit of Ek Bharat Shresht Bharat. Delegates will reach Kashi from Tamil Nadu during this month and interact with their counterparts. More from our Chennai correspondent.
In Tamil Nadu, the first team of students are leaving from Rameswaram today on the event of Kashi Tamil Sangamam. The place is significant because pilgrims offer the Ganga water to Sri Ramanatha Swami in Rameswaram from all over the country every year. The dream of visiting Kashi is an opportunity for those in Tamil Nadu. It dates back to ancient times where Tamil literature has references of Kashi in the hymns of Saiva Siddhanta. More than 2,500 participants have registered from the state. Classical and folk art forms of Tamil Nadu will be represented in the month-long celebrations and is likely to add more color to the Kashi Tamil Sangamam event. Joy, AR News, Chennai.
National Press Day is being observed today to commemorate a free and responsible press. It was on this day that the Press Council of India started functioning as a moral watchdog to ensure that the press maintains the highest standards and is not fettered by any influence or threats. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur will be the chief guest at the National Press Day celebration in Delhi today. Now let's have a look at the weather in different cities. National capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky. Mumbai is also likely to have mainly clear sky. Kolkata will have clear sky. Chennai is expected to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. G20 presidency handed over to India. Next year's summit to be held in New Delhi on 9th and 10th September. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India's presidency will be inclusive, ambitious, decisive and action-oriented. India and France review cooperation in defence, civil nuclear, trade and investment. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar emphasizes the importance of transparent accountability in public service delivery. Britain approves 3,000 work visas for young Indian professionals. And former US President Donald Trump launches his 2024 presidential campaign. And with that, we end the Midday News.